All right, and welcome back to another ODU esports stream this evening. I am your host, Benjamin Draper,
I'm Matthew Starcher.
and we are going to be your casters this evening as Call of Duty will be showcased on the stream tonight, and it'll be a very exciting match as Old Dominion will be taking on Minnesota State and NACE Starleague here, and a league that they are 1-3 at the moment here. This is a big match for the Monarchs coming into this one and trying to rebound off of that poor record so far and hopefully turn the tide for the rest of this regular season in NACE.
hmm So unfortunately, we took a loss yesterday in ECAC, but yeah, let's see what they can do and bounce back for that record.
Yeah, so for the match yesterday against Cumberland, if you guys have seen the COD matches or basically just tuned into ODU esports in general, if you hear the name Cumberland esports, you know that they're going to be a formidable opponent in any game. So could you give us kind of a rundown of how things transpired yesterday in the 3-0 defeat against Cumberland esports, which was the COD match that wasn't streamed on was not streamed, but it was a part of ECAC yesterday. So can you kind of give us what transpired through that one?
Yeah, pretty much the rundown. It just seemed like Cumberland was just fully in their just game and just had every single control and just had their way with the maps and just knew what to do, when to do it, and just seemed like ODU couldn't get like any groove going.
hmm Which match do you think was their lowest one of the evening yesterday? You think it was Hardpoint, Control, or the S&D?
I honestly think the most we had a chance with was the hard point. I think if we played it a little bit more cleaner, I think we would have been able to take it from them.
Yeah, so it's gonna be very interesting to see what they could do here in NACE Starleague. Like we mentioned, they are 1-3 in NACE. ECAC, they're 1-1 at the moment here. They had their victory in ECAC last week. I forgot exactly who the opponent was last week.
Albany.
Yes, it was Albany. My mistake. So they had to win against Albany last week, and then they fall against Cumberland yesterday and ECAC. So a little bit of coming back there on both ends for both leagues, needing to bounce back off of losses. But nonetheless, we're going to be getting ready here for best of 5 series, which will be starting on Embassy for hardpoint number 1, and then we will get into Mercado for map number 2, and then map number 3 we will be right back on El Asilo. Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of El Asilo for a control match, and then we will also get to game in 4 and 5 if we need to get to those games, which will both be on hotel. So it'll be interesting to see how things are going to transpire. Definitely going to be interesting to see how the 2 hotel maps at the end are going to play out, because hotel is probably one of my personal favorite maps in terms for CDL. So it'll be interesting to see how they'll showcase their skills for hardpoint and possibly search and destroy for game 5, because I mean you never know. You never know what can transpire through the series.
We saw what happened last time on map 5 on hotel.
Yeah, a lot of chaos on both ends, but luckily Love was just playing lights out and search and destroys the last time they were showcased. I believe Love was 11-5 in that game 5 S&D, so it was very big for the Monarchs to prevail, especially with the skill from him. But we're going to take a short break here. We're going to get things ready in the lobby and make sure everything is good to go before we are going to be going live actually with the game itself. So we're going to take a short break here. We'll be right back after these little commercials or whatever, and we'll be back with game 1 between these two teams, as it'll be Embassy Hardpoint between Old Dominion and Minnesota State. All right, and welcome back, folks. We are live here with game number 1 between Old Dominion and Minnesota State this evening, as they will be facing off against one another in this COD match, part of NACE Starleague, as the Monarchs are 1-3, and NACE Starleague at the moment here, and Spirit with an opening pair of kills there, as P1 will be in favor of Minnesota State to start out this match, but Midnight and Love both get some kills back for ODU in the process there on those gunfights, and you can see Static lost his life as well, trying to get onto site. But at the moment, Minnesota State has the first 11 points of this hardpoint game, but nobody to contest at the moment here. As you'll see a gunfight at middle, but you can see Spear with another kill on Poppy. So Minnesota State getting lives off of sight at the moment here early on, and just gaining a little bit of advantage with the early momentum here, and they're going to tally more seconds here in the opening position here.
Yeah, nice job from ODU to just try and deny as much time on the point as possible, restricting them only to 11 seconds, even though giving up those first few eliminations. But then setting up nicely for this second point. Let's see what ODU can do here to just try and lock down the site, trying to get as many points as possible.
I did like the rotation there, as you can see Poppy was on site getting seconds, and you can see Phil up there, also known as Static, with a big pair of kills, opening site up once again, and Midnight will also get another kill, and Love is there to reinforce on P2, trying to make sure that they can capture as many seconds as they can, and you can see Love lost his gunfight there to Blazy, but you can see Poppy trying to reinforce on site, and you can see Midnight lost his life in that gunfight, as well as Static there, but Static will take one with him before he lost his life, and you can see Poppy trying to opening up site once again, but Minnesota State will capitalize and being able to capture these final seconds with 20 seconds left to go before rotating over to P3.
Yeah, it looks like they're rotating over to P3 now and trying to just get full control over that. Static losing that gunfight there. Really close gunfight there. Let's see what they can do to try and lock down this P3 and try and make it more even points-wise.
Big pair of kills there from Midnight before he lost his life in the process there, but you could see ODU trying to make a good rotation here. Minnesota State has the advantage at the moment here, but a big kill from Midnight opens things up, and they will start getting seconds here on P3. Another big kill from Midnight. So a big pair of kills on P3 right there to get some seconds there for the Monarchs.
Nice job from ODU being able to just fully contest that point and then being able to set up now and just get full control. And now losing 3 members there.
That's big. Minnesota State changing the tide of the point right there.
Let's see what ODU does here, if they try and contest this point or just try and go for the next point. Looks like they're going to try and contest it. Poppy maybe going to be able to peek, waiting for Static to try and do the double peek.
And Poppy's actually going to lose his life right there, and you can see Static also losing life. So Minnesota State capitalizing off of that little push that was made there. Midnight being able to read what was going to happen there as Blazy gets caught on stairs, and Midnight will get the kill as the rotation being made there for the Monarchs on P4. You got to like that rotation as they're getting geared up for that next point, which is going to be pivotal to make sure that this one does not get away from them, as the Monarchs are now down by 60 points overall in the first 3 points of this match. So let's see what Static, Poppy, and the rest of this Monarch team can do to try to claw back in this one a little bit. It's not all lost yet, but you don't want to get it away from you midway through this game, so this is a very pivotal point. Big kill from Static to open things up, though.
I really like this position, this power position from Static. Just holding that mid site and just being able to hold both of those hallways is really strong.
Static with a big pair of kills. Can he get the triple? Not going to be able to recognize the third guy in there, but still a good amount of seconds there for the Monarchs. They got over the 50 mark, almost to 60, and they've cut it to a 50-point lead with 25 seconds left to play on P4 before we rotate over to our final point for the rotation of the points once again. And you can see a lot of kills going back and forth on both teams, and Monarchs will capture a second or two on point before losing it and giving up the rest of it to this Minnesota State team. So Minnesota State capitalizing on the pivotal gunfights at the moment here, as they have the advantage early on in game 1 here.
Yeah, it looks like they're setting up for this next point and doing a pretty good job at it until Midnight and Love both lose their life here. But then Static gets another kill and then loses his life. Poppy gets another kill. Let's see if he can get the double.
So he's actually going to lose his life as we switch cams there.
Unfortunate. Let's see. Well, they are denying time off the point also, which is doing a really good job. Now they have the full site control. Let's see if we can get full dominance. Losing a lot of gunfight there, but then also getting a retrade and then losing 2 more in the process.
So Minnesota State in full control of this one at the moment here, as they're in control of P5. Midnight trying to counter and try to get in there in kitchen. Not going to be able to do much off of it, though. Static will get a kill. Can he get a second one there? He will not be able to do so. He loses life as well as Poppy and Love. Most of the team, the Monarchs down at the moment. A full team wipe there from Minnesota State on that gunfight. So a big win on their part, as they're able to capitalize on more seconds on this point. And we get ready for the rotation back over to the first point. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Monarchs can do, because this first wave of rotations through the points has not gone in their way. But we'll see what they can do, as P1 will be the showcase of the showcase right here now.
Nice opening pair of kills there, just to try and get as much control over P1 as possible. We're trying to get up to this top Apex side, and we will be able to get that control, which is really pivotal for P1. So we see one on point, we get the kill. Nice job from Poppy there. Let's see if he can get a second kill. He will be able to, so they're just trying to get full control over point right now, and they will get on that point. He gets another kill, which is really good.
Poppy's playing pretty good right now, being able to open up P1 quite a bit and give the Monarchs a little bit more time, as they'll cut the lead to under 100 points here. Final seconds of P1 before the rotation's being made. Static with a big kill there. As you can see, the rotation being made already from Minnesota State, so they are ready to capture more seconds. You see Static in the process of reloading, gets caught from behind, and he will die in the process, as well as ODU will capture the final seconds of P1. And you can see Minnesota State already capturing the first seconds of P2, so it's going to be pivotal to see what the Monarchs can do here, try to capitalize and try not to give this one away, as Minnesota State is inching closer to it, 200 points.
Yeah, so looks like they just lost a bunch of gunfights there, but they're going to try and regroup and try and push together. Let's see what they can do. Losing the first gunfight, losing the second gunfight, winning the third, and they just get pretty much squad wiped. They have to kind of fall back and just try and either push these last 25 seconds or just go for the next point, which it looks like they're going to try and go for this next point.
You can see that Minnesota State's just winning gunfights at the moment here, and that's what really has been the difference. And you can see Static lost his gunfight as well. So Minnesota State just capitalizing on their angles and being able to get all the kills if they can, to make sure that they'll keep point nice and clear, and safe for them to capture more and more. As you can see, the final seconds of the second point will be all in favor for this Minnesota State team, as they are now 15 seconds away from victory here, and they have control of the next point here. It's pivotal for the Monarchs to get on here and try to contest. They're going to contest for a minute there. They're not going to be able to do much off of it. 2:42 to go, and you can see Spear Up with a triple kill from Minnesota State. So it just looks like Minnesota State will go on to win this one in decisive fashion with a 250-82 victory. So not the map one that you were hoping to see out of the Monarchs in that first one, but it just seemed that Minnesota State was just in complete control in terms of gunfights itself.
Yeah, it just seemed like when ODU just had the point, they couldn't really lock it down and ever actually control the point. It just seemed like they were just giving the point up really easily, and even when they got the point and like contested it from Minnesota, it never seemed like they actually had full control over it and never could contain the points and get the points that they needed.
Yeah, I wasn't really I didn't get to really see the scoreboard after the game, so I'm not really sure how KD's shaped up for the Monarch team, but I'm sure it didn't look very good on their side. But is there anything that they really needed to work on that you saw in that first game, as we're getting ready for game 2 on Mercado for S&D?
More just work on confidence. You guys were playing they were playing well, and just need to work as a team more, work together, and just play how you normally play.
Yeah, so Mercado is going to be our second map. It'll be our search and destroy game against Minnesota State. It'll be interesting because I haven't done a Mercado S&D for casting in quite a while. I think Mercado is one of the last maps that ODU really tries to play in terms of search and destroy. So is there anything interesting looking forward to this match on Mercado?
Not get ninja diffused again. As long as we don't do that, I think it's a good Mercado map.
Yeah. So we're going to have to see what is going to happen, as the Monarchs did drop game 1, 250-82 in that hardpoint game. But right after the break, we will showcase game number 2. But until then, we're going to take a short break here, and we're going to get ready for the lobby. And yeah, so we'll be right back. All right, and welcome back. We are here with game number 2 between Minnesota State and Old Dominion. Minnesota State were the victors in game 1 in decisive fashion, 250 to 82. And you can see Midnight already getting killed from a frag grenade off the rip, and Poppy trying to get a sniper kill to trade it back there, and he's not going to be able to capitalize. So unfortunate start for the Monarchs here in game number 1 as we are here on Mercado. And you can see Poppy will get sniped as well with the headshot. So Minnesota State with a strong start on the defensive side here for Mercado.
Yeah, I think Poppy with that sniper will be a huge X factor, and how well he does is going to be how well we do on this map. But also, just keeping in perspective how well Love played last time we played on S&D with that 15 kills on Search and Destroy. Let's see if he can put up those numbers again. Starting off huge with the first one. Let's see if he can continue to do so as they try and take this A-bomb site.
Big kill there from Love. We'll see what they can do. Trying to open things up on A. That is what they're committed to, and Love will get killed in the process. But Static will get one right back, trying to anticipate someone coming from tunnel, but not going to be anybody there. Final 30 seconds to play here, as the Monarchs are going to have to battle back from a 2v1 and possibly winning this one. 20 seconds up to play. Static's going to have to get very aggressive here and possibly getting something. He possibly could have seen the shoulder there.
Yeah, let's see what he can do here. He has
He's
no
stunned.
time. He has to push
Ooh.
up and just unfortunately loses the gunfight there. Both of them playing together. Smart move.
Kind of would have hoped Static would have had been a little bit more aggressive there when he had first seen the shoulder, but I don't think he had seen him just yet. He just wanted to make sure that what he had seen was there. But Minnesota State trying to improve on that 1-0 series lead at the moment here with a 2-0 series lead, and that is the start that they want. And definitely something you want to see from the Monarchs is the sniping, like you mentioned. Poppy is going to be utilizing that sniper quite a bit, so let's see if he can actually have a lot of success with it, just like we had seen last week in the ECAC match where they were showcasing a lot of success sniping throughout their series.
Yeah, you are going to see them defaulting to that A-bomb site and see what ODU can try and do to match it. We saw last week that they struggled with that B-bomb site,
Oh.
but able to, and just, wow, they are just
A triple kill.
just wiped.
Poppy got killed from a headshot once again to open things up. Then Midnight and Static both lost their lives as well. So it'll come down to Love. Love with the 1v4 situation. He has overcome some clutch situations in the past already, if you guys have been tuning into the ODU COD streams. But as he peeks mid, he's going to get sniped. And that is going to be the round as Minnesota State with a pair of rounds to open up Search and Destroy here. And definitely the start that they would have wanted. As you can see, Klinger with the sniper there, being able to snipe that headshot and starting off with the perfect 4-0 for Minnesota State at the moment here.
Yeah, not a good start for the Monarchs there. Just really just able to just not lock down the A-bomb site, and just the sniper being a really big X factor for Minnesota State, and see if Poppy can try and bounce back and put some edge on that sword.
So you can see the Monarchs actually making our way towards B at the moment here. So a little bit of a different game plan than what you've seen in the first one. You can see Midnight will get the info early on. Throw some nades into the corner to get him to go out. He will run away though. So unfortunate to not get that kill there.
Yeah, it is not something common you see on this map, is a default bomb B. So let's see what they can try and do to set it up. Looks like one of them is going to try and go up top to see if they can see anything. One Static looking in the back alleyway. They are going to peek it. They get one kill and then, 2 for 2.
Trading on both ends. Midnight getting the pair of kills to account for his teammates lost in Poppy and Static, but it'll come down to Love and Midnight trying to win their first round of this S&D game, as they're going to have to overcome a 2v2 against Fluid and Spirit.
Yeah, ODU doesn't know, but both of the Minnesota State players are both on A. They were not they were anticipating the rotate. They didn't think they were going to actually stick B. But ODU rotating directly into them.
This would be an interesting play. 25 seconds left to play. The Monarchs are going to have to get a little bit aggressive here as the seconds are going away. And you can see Midnight will get the info there. Going to get some shots off. Love will get a kill, and it'll be that person, but he's actually going to die from a nade, unfortunately. And I believe that player is just going to back off a little bit, and Love is going to have to get aggressive. And you can see 5 seconds left to play, and it'll be a plant, but I don't think is not going to have enough time anyways. So Minnesota State with a smart play on their end defensively, being able to capitalize off of that and being able to capture that kill on Midnight. Unfortunately, that's a big kill there on Midnight, because if you don't take that frag, or Midnight doesn't lose to that frag right there, I'm pretty sure Midnight captures the kill and the Monarchs are on the board in the Search and Destroy game.
Yeah, really good job from Minnesota State, just being able to read the rotation from Old Dominion. Would have been nice if they were able to just stick it out on B and just get all the info and then be able to plant it, go for the rotation, and just Minnesota State was just able to just make the call there and just play the way they did.
And you can see Minnesota State already have 3 members on A and they have control of it. So yeah, I'm not going to be surprised if we see the bomb get planted here any second now.
Yeah,
You can
looks
see
like
the
they're
Monarchs
planning right now.
all not on A, so they're just not playing on A whatsoever here.
Yeah, this is gonna be a huge try and retake this B bombs or A bomb site. My bad. A
And you can see
sniper.
Klinga with that pair of sniper kills. My goodness.
Yeah. Ooh, a nice kill from ODU. Just punched back and then just another unfortunate gunfight.
I think it's unfortunate for the Monarchs to even bother playing in mid at the moment there. I mean, you lose 2 lives in mid, really changes the tone of the rest of the round, and everything just fell apart right after that. As you can see, Spear Up getting the final kill there on Midnight, trying to overtake the bomb being planted. But Minnesota State in complete control of this series at the moment here. They are now up 4-0 in their search and destroy game, looking to extend their series lead to 2-0 as they're looking to get closer to that match point, which is first team to win 3 maps is the victor. So not what you wanted to see from the Monarchs early on this evening, but definitely could come back. They just need to get some rounds under their belt and try to establish some teamwork. And you can see Static will get the opening kill of the round, a big opening kill for the Monarchs there. I believe that's the first time in this game itself that they've gotten the opening pick. And you can see Midnight will also get another pick, so a big round here for the Monarchs being 2-man up. And Poppy's not going to realize that the player's right there behind the door, and he's going to die to Spear Up. But Static will have the info right above him and might be able to capture another kill in this round for Old Dominion. But you got to like the numbers advantage on their end. It's just a matter if they can get this bomb planted or not.
Yeah, nice job opening up from Old Dominion to be able to get those 2 para kills. Let's see what they can do and see if they can flush out this person. Sniper kills Love. Midnight being able to try and win this gunfight.
Oh no.
Frag coming out from Minnesota State. Midnight being able to get
Nice.
that pick. Now they have to just try and play this 2-1 man advantage. They get the info that's there and win the first point on this search and destroy map.
That's a great pick from Static. Even though they lost Midnight in the process, they still captured the round anyways. Static was just maintaining his position on the second floor of house and being able to lure that player out and being able to capture their first round. So the Monarchs on the board in the search and destroy game. Definitely their best round that they've played in the search and destroy map so far. But let's see what they can do to try to improve on that and possibly make this a 2-round game.
Yeah, good job from Old Dominion just being able to just play together and just really utilize that 2-1 advantage and just secure that round. Also, good job opening. Let's see. So, Minnesota State coming for this
Big pick.
A bomb site. Old Dominion be able to get that first opening kill and then losing another gunfight in the process. Static seeing one, seeing another, so
Static.
he knows that it's going to be an A
Oh.
push.
Static
Unable to
had a
get either
chance. He
kills.
gets one of them though. Can he get the second one? Oh, he's not going to be able to do so. But Static still contesting with both of those players there. And Midnight Last Alive going to be the last one to die, actually. So the Monarchs now going to have to win out in this search and destroy game if they want to steal game 2 from this Minnesota State team. But at the moment, Minnesota State in complete control of this game and series as they're looking to close things out here in round number 7.
Yeah, good job from Static being able to just bounce back on those kills. Just unfortunate he couldn't get the second one, and that would have been a huge lead for Old Dominion.
I definitely did like the play that they did right there defensively, especially just playing majority on A because A is more of a favorable site for the attackers. But it's just unfortunate that Static wasn't able to capture those pair of kills in top window and thereby sight. But nonetheless, Minnesota State just winning gunfights and being able to capitalize off of it. Static with a big kill there, and he's gonna go to top. Betterman. Spear Up with the big pair of kills on Midnight and Poppy. So Static did not see that member there from Minnesota State, and Minnesota State's going to capitalize off of it. Spear Up with another kill, and he's looking for the team ace in this round to solidify this game 2 victory for Minnesota State as they're just calling down on Old Dominion here. And you can see Love popping a dead silence. He's going to have to overcome a 1v3 clutch situation once more if they want to continue in game 2, and that won't be the case. As Love goes for the drop shot, he's going to get caught anyways. And Minnesota State with a decisive Game 2 victory, 6-1 over the Monarchs.
Yeah, really unfortunate loss there. Just did not have a good opening that round right there. Just picking that mid and just there was a sniper there, and then the sub was just being able to just put all that pressure in.
So you can see Static and Midnight both leading the way with their 5 kills, but everybody on their team negative. And Poppy, oh no, Poppy with the 0-7. Unfortunately, you hate to see that donut on the board, but there's only so much you can do in that situation when you have a member of your team not doing so well. But it's gonna be tough here. I mean, Old Dominion, they lose game one, they lose their hardpoint match pretty decisively. They lost game two decisively. Really, just does not seem that like nothing's working out for them as a team at the moment here. And now we're gonna be getting into LSCO, which is Control, and it's gonna be tough for them because Control is a tough game mode for Old Dominion and can be a tough for them sometimes. But the fact that they're playing on LSCO is just going to make it even tougher because LSCO and Old Dominion, they're not best friends. They definitely do not like each other. So it'll be interesting to see how they showcase their skills on this map, knowing that they need to win this map in order to force a game 4 on Hotel, and possibly maybe we'll get into game 5 if they are to get past that. But still, tough task ahead of them on game 3.
Yeah, I think you just play a round at a time and just try and just slowly chip it away and just play how you normally play. You don't have to try and do anything special. Don't have to try and do anything flashy. You did see flashes of them doing good in that Search and Destroy with those big opening kills.
Yeah.
And you saw them doing good in Search and Destroy too. Or not Search and Destroy, Hardpoint.
They were able to get some picks early on, but it just seems that once all that early momentum kind of went away, like it just seemed that Minnesota State just vamped up under pressure and just make sure to basically just put out their opponent as fast as they can, and that's kind of what they've been doing throughout the series so far. But it's gonna be tough for the Monarchs. They really are gonna have their hands full coming into Control here. But it didn't really seem that Search and Destroy game was really something that they were really ready for defensively. I think the defensive tactics on that Search and Destroy game were really off. It seemed that positioning, at least in my perspective, I think the positioning was way out of whack in that Search and Destroy game and really played a big factor in how some of those rounds shaped out. But I mean, there's only so much you can do in that situation, and you also just, like I said, I mean, Poppy 0-7. I mean, you got to do better than 0-7 if you want to help your team out, especially in a game that is crucial like Game 2 was, because now they're going to have to win out starting with the crucial LSCO Control match. So it's going to be tough to see how they'll overcome it. But we're going to take a short break here, and we're going to get this lobby set up as we prepare for Game 3 between Minnesota State and Old Dominion, as Minnesota State is up 2-0 at the moment here. All right, welcome back, folks. We are here with game number 3 between Minnesota State and Old Dominion. It is Control on LSU and a must-win match for the Monarchs as they need to win back-to-back games to potentially force Game 5 on Hotel. But nonetheless, they need to win 3 rounds here in Control if they want to advance to at least a game number 4 on Hotel. And you can see things starting out very well for the Monarchs. Static and Poppy both getting kills there after Midnight lost his life. And you can see things happening here as you can see the Minnesota State trying to attack A at the moment here as ODU will start off on the defending side.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty even now going in the way of the Monarchs. Really good setup from ODU being able to get this mid and A control. Looks like they are just fully in control of the map.
Nice.
Huge opening triple kill from Old Dominion. Let's see if they can get the final one on this A.
Midnight with the pair of kills and Static with his kill as well. And you can see Midnight with another kill. Midnight was very hyped coming into the production room, letting us know that he is not letting his team get swept this evening. And Midnight on a killing spree at the moment here, but he's going to lose that as we speak. So Caster's curse, might as well just shut my mouth next time. My goodness.
Static, oh, and never mind.
Oh, never mind. But Poppy gets
mind.
the refrags right back on him. So a good picks right there, and Poppy will get another one. So a good round here for Old Dominion. 10 seconds left here for Minnesota State. They have not gotten any control on any of the sites yet. 9.5 left to go. Poppy trying to get some kills on B. Rotation being made there, and that was a big kill missed right there for Poppy. Could have potentially ended this thing. You can see Static coming back on site and being able to reinforce on B and being able to get the kill right there. 7-1 at the moment. Static playing pretty well to start this round, and Midnight is going to anticipate the shots. He will get the kill. So 7-3 from Midnight as well. So a great round for the Monarchs defensively here, but let's see how they can shut things out as you can see the first tick and the second tick being made from Minnesota State on B, and you can see rotation being made over to A. So Minnesota State trying to do anything possible to get some ticks going on either side before that 7.5 seconds goes to 0.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to go for both sites right now, but it just seems like right now it is just not working. They're only down to 8 lives now compared to Old Dominion's 18. They do have the third and final tick now from A, I'm assuming. Oh, they are contesting it. Oh, still contesting. And nope, and there it is. Secured
It'll come
on
down.
B.
It'll come
So
down
they
to
have
this final tick.
The Static wins this gunfight. Nice. That was a huge clutch gunfight that needed to be won there.
Minnesota State only has 6 lives remaining compared to the Monarchs 15, so definitely favorable for ODU here. But they got to make sure that they are on the site as much as they can because they do not want to give away that last tick, unfortunately, especially when you have the live advantage like this. And a big pair of kills from Minnesota State to kind of get it closer here, and it'll be last lives remaining for Minnesota State with the pair of kills from Monarchs. It'll come down to the final 4 lives here for Minnesota State, and you can see Love getting killed from Klinger in the process there. And you can see Minnesota State will actually capitalize on the site. So Minnesota State steals one away from the Monarchs on B when they were down to their final lives. Unfortunate as Klinger will get the final kill there on Love, being able to prevent him from contesting on site and giving him the 3rd tick. So Minnesota State just stole that away from you, and I know you kind of look down on my side here. Any thoughts of what just transpired there?
Yeah, I think we got a little too confident and just played not normal. I think if we played just confident and just conservative, I think we would have won that. I think we went for gunfights that we didn't have to go for, and then just lost too many of them, and then that round ended the way it did.
Yeah, it cost it. And Static losing his life started off this second round here of Control. First team to win 3 rounds of Control will be the victor of that map. So Minnesota State still needs 2 more rounds in order to capture victory, and the Monarchs definitely need to win out. So it'll be a lot of tasks to look forward to, and Midnight lost his life in that gunfight as well. And Love is going to lose his in the process as Static will get a refrag for ODU there. And you can see that they're trying to get something going on A. That's their primary objective at the moment. Midnight, Static trying to get an opening, and you can see Static, or Love and Midnight both lost their lives there in the gunfight at mid, but you can see Static getting one right back as they will get that first tick down at least on A. So you got to like that at the moment here. And they're going to try to get that second tick down before any opposition tries to contest. They will get the second tick, and they possibly will get to finish out A. Midnight with a big pair of kills, including a grenade kill. So Old Dominion already has the first sight, and they just need to get on B here with the minute 45 to play.
Yeah, I think it looked more rough than it actually was, only being down now 3 lives after that elimination right there. Let's see if they can make it back to 2. Nope, they're just going to just regroup and just not chow that, and then they make it 4. So let's see if they can try and position themselves to try and get this B site. Looks like they're trying to go for this full left side flank and just try and play fully together and try to get these opening kills, and they will lose 3 in the process.
Unfortunately, Love is at 3-9 for his KD at the moment, so that's definitely not a sight that you want to see, especially from a player that can produce a lot of kills in Love, and he's just not being able to capitalize at the moment here. You can see Midnight lost his gunfight as well, so it'll come down to these next players as they're going to try to overcome on B. Less than a minute left to play here. It just seems that Minnesota State has kind of locked down ever since they gave up that first site, but at the moment here, Minnesota State leading in lives remaining in 8 kills, actually, 24-16 in their favor, as Midnight trying to see if there's an opening on site. He sees a player in window. Can he get the kill? Won't be able to do so. He will lose that gunfight as well as Love losing his, and Static will get the refrag before he dies as well. But Poppy will also return the favor as he gets a kill. So unfortunate for the Monarchs here as they're facing the final 25 seconds of time left, needing to get on B here and possibly steal this round away from Minnesota State.
Yeah, Love knows someone's there, just can't find him with the stun grenade. Unfortunately losing his life there. Static being able to get one right back, and then Poppy losing his gunfight. Midnight trying to flank and trying to get his opening pick. He does be able to get that one. Trying to capture this point as much as possible right now. Love knows someone's back in our spawn. Static losing his life to the person in the spawn. Trying to fully lock down and get this first tick to get something going for this last 3 seconds remaining at this point.
And that will be it, as Old Dominion is not going to be able to capture anything off of that. And the Monarchs are going to lose round number 2 of this control game. So now it is match point overall for Minnesota State this evening, as they're just looking for a clean sweep overall in this game. A decisive hardpoint game, a decisive search and destroy game, and possibly a sweep and control overall. Just everything going in favor for Minnesota State and nothing working out for the Monarchs this evening, as they just have not found their groove at all. They really haven't found their rhythm whatsoever. So it just sucks to see, as Old Dominion now on their last legs, and they're going to have to win out and basically everything if they want to make any miraculous comeback here. And you can see Old Dominion is going to be on the defending side, so they're just going to have to defend it as much as they can. They had a good defense in that first round. It should be a 1-1 game here, to be honest, but they just gave it up at the very end of that first defending round, and Minnesota State was able to capture one more point than what they should have at the moment here in control. And you can see they'll have the upper hand and kills advantage at the moment here with 3 kills up. And you can see Spear up with another kill there, and you can see Love trying to contest on player up at the tower, not going to be able to do much. 3 and 13 from Love, as we just saw there with his KD. Unfortunate, he's just not having a good game at the moment here. And you can see the ticks going up for Minnesota State. Being able to establish a second tick on A. Could they finish up on A, though? I'm pretty sure they will. So A is going to be secured here for Minnesota State, as they just need to secure B, and it'll be over with here.
Yeah, only losing 2 lives is a huge advantage for Minnesota State. It looked like the first 2 points, or the first 2 rounds, Old Dominion just had a really good first half.
Oh my goodness, look at all the kills racking up.
And just Minnesota State this round just not having like any just dilly-dallying and just getting straight to it and just meaning straight business. Only losing 3 lives and looking to close it out right now with the final tick.
And here we go, and that'll be it right there. My goodness, the Monarchs. That was just an embarrassing loss right there in control. And you can see members showing a little bit of frustrations coming off the stage. You don't like to see that for the Monarchs, as you can see final kill there from Spear as he solidifies the victory for Minnesota State, and a clean sweep there on control. So unfortunate for the Monarchs, as leading the way was Static with his 17 kills, followed by Midnight with his 12 kills, and Poppy at 7, and then unfortunately Love with 3 kills. That's just not the performance you were looking for, especially in a game that was a winner, basically do or die for the Monarchs, and it really just didn't seem like their effort was there this evening, unfortunately, and Minnesota State definitely got the better of them in this contest.
Yeah, if you look at that first round of that control there, it looked like they were just on a different page. They were just on a different momentum. They started off super hot, got to the final wire, final 4 lives, 3 lives, and just couldn't close it out. Really unfortunate there. Then they take that loss, go into round 2, have another good opening start, and just wasn't able to close that one out either. And just the third round, just I don't know what Minnesota did, but they just locked it in and just had full control, almost played it near perfect. Only losing 3 to 4 lives is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just mentioned it right there. I think that first game of control definitely killed the mental for ODU overall in that matchup. I mean, it seemed that Minnesota State was in complete control of those first two games easily. Like, they were easily in control of those first two games. You can give that to them. But to come out into game 3 and have a hot start like Old Dominion did there defensively, only to give it up in the final seconds to the final tick being made with Minnesota State on their last lives remaining, basically it was a search and destroy for them in that situation. And the fact that the Monarchs gave away B in the final seconds right there when it seemed that that round was basically won. And like you mentioned just a little bit ago, throughout that third round, they really just got aggressive with the kills and tried to get kill hungry there just to win on lives rather than just trying to protect B itself. And that's what really did cost them. And I think that's what costed them in that game 3 overall, because once they lost that round, their mental just went down, and you kind of saw that going into round 2 and 3 of control there as things just fell apart for the Monarchs overall.
Yeah, I think that first round was just like a key momentum, just either a morale booster or morale setter down. And I think that Old Dominion, if they won that, they were able to just be able to come back and just be able to fully just try and sweep back, do a reverse sweep, but just unfortunate loss there in that first round of control.
It's just unfortunate. Really is unfortunate. I believe we're going to get set up for an interview here, so we're going to take a short break, and we're going to grab Dylan from outside and bring him in here for a few minutes to talk to us about what transpired in that game. So we will see you guys right after the break. All right, and welcome back. We are joined by Dylan, also known as Midnight for the SCA team. Unfortunate loss for you guys tonight. I can definitely tell by your facial expression that you do desire to be here for these short few minutes that you're going to be here with me for these quick questions. But kind of just tell us, I mean, what happened tonight? I mean, you guys just didn't seem like you guys had it in you guys coming into this matchup this evening.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. We did a little VOD review on them, but it just seemed like it wasn't enough. I think we were just out of sync today, where all of us were just not playing up to how we usually play as. So I mean, that's like a personal thing. I know I wasn't playing as well today. You know, we switched roles coming into map 3, so we just kind of switched everything around, making it all frantic. So I think it just was we were just out of sync today, I would say.
What was the biggest difference from your team compared to Minnesota State? Because like we were talking about before the stream even came on, it seemed that you guys were pretty tight knit in terms of like skill level with one another for both teams, and you guys both have lost to Purdue and Cumberland pretty decisively in your matches.
Yeah.
What basically made the difference this evening that kind of caught you guys off guard that you weren't anticipating?
Their playstyle was very different from like usual players. They were kind of you couldn't expect what they were supposed to be doing, and also I just think it was our playstyle was just very out of the ordinary, and I don't think we were just playing up to our potential. If we all were up to sync today, I think we could have beaten them.
Mm-hmm. And I want to talk about Game 3 there of that control match, and I don't want to break your heart a little bit more here, but it's just unfortunate how things transpired there in round 1 of control. It just seemed that since you guys lost game 1 and 2 pretty decisively on hardpoint and search and destroy, like Minnesota State was in control of those first 2 games pretty easily. But when you came out in game 3 for that control game, you guys had such a great defensive effort there to start off in round 1, and you guys had the kill advantage by almost 10 kills right there in the final 30-45 seconds of that, and still somehow lost that because of the final captures that they had gotten on B. Kind of tell me what was going through your heads at that time, and also did that really just ruin the mental for the rest of the round for control?
Yeah, going to that round 1, we literally had a good setup, but then they started winning their gunfights to where it was like making our comms kind of frantic, and we didn't know what we were doing, and then we were just kind of playing solo in a way where it was kind of affecting our team. And when that happens, we kind of got lost in the comms and didn't know what to do. We weren't, like I said, we weren't in sync to where we follow a play call or anything, but I think just after that, it kind of like the mental checked us in a way. But yeah, I think we're just going to regain for next and just go over our mistakes and see what we can improve on for our next week matches.
Yeah, so you guys fought a 1-4 in NACE, unfortunately, and you guys are 1-1 in ECAC at the moment now. I mean, what is it with NACE compared to ECAC that you just guys can't find the success that you were hoping for?
I think now that we're in ECAC, I think we're going to just prioritize that now. With us being 1-4, I don't think we have a chance in the playoff run. So I'm going to, as a captain, I'm just trying to put us more in a mental state to where we're going to be just using this NACE as a practice for us to get ready for our ECAC match, and just use our ECAC match as our way to just prove ourselves in a way.
Last question here, and then I'll let you go. I hope here, but just talk to me about that hardpoint game. I know hardpoint is one of your guys' like bread and butter in terms of like some maps for hardpoint, but things just didn't work well on Embassy there. Kind of tell us how things transpired on Embassy and what was going through your guys' heads.
Yeah, I think it's just my play calling wasn't up to as it usually is. I don't think we were just listening to each other, and the comms were just very, very chaotic, where we were just splooging out words, and it just was not going in our favor. So, I mean, props to Minnesota, but I think if we were up to par in how we usually play today, I think we could have beaten them.
Well, that has been a few minutes here with Dylan, also known as Midnight, as he is one of the members in the defeat this evening against Minnesota State 3-0. But that is going to be it for COD this evening. I believe we're getting ready for Valorant coming up right here after the break. So I hope you guys will stay tuned for some more Valorant, as they were the side stream, but now they're going to be put on the mainstream since COD is over with at the moment here. But thank you for taking a few minutes of your time to come chat about the game today, and also going forward with COD for COD. But we're going to take a short break here, and we'll be right back with some Valorant. All right, and welcome back, folks. I know I had mentioned that we were going to switch over to Valorant right after the break, but you know what? I kind of want to skedaddle. So that is what we're going to do here. We're going to start wrapping things up, and we're going to call it a stream. As you guys did get to see a little bit of Valorant being showcased in the background there, even though they might be, how do I put this lightly? They might be down bad right now. That's all I'm going to say. They might be down bad. Might have gone into the reason why I don't want to stream this next one, but nonetheless, we're just gonna wrap things up, kind of talk about COD a little bit, even though COD didn't really have much of a better performance themselves this evening. But I'm not trying to call people out. I mean, we're just trying to make things spicy a little bit here late evening. But any last thoughts for you for this COD match and basically for the team going forward?
I just really hope that we can just be able to just improve and just showcase that the map and just the picks we had today and just the overall experience and just gameplay was just not up to par and just not our normal,
This wasn't the same
gameplay
routine,
in general. It's not the same team.
They really did feel off today. Like, I don't know what it was,
yeah.
but it just seemed that COD team was just not on it today, and today was probably just a wrong day in general for them to have a match.
Yeah.
Because they did have one yesterday against Cumberland, and Cumberland is no easy feat. Like, Cumberland is a very tough esports school in terms of any game, really. So having back-to-back games, back-to-back nights, unfortunately losing both games through two sweeps definitely can kill the mental a little bit, but you gotta give your props to COD to still try to battle through it as much as they can and trying to improve on that. But I mean, we're just gonna have to see what happens later on. I mean, they've already done their matches for the week. We're just gonna have to see what transpires next week. Hopefully it'll improve, and we'll just have to go from there, basically.
Yeah.
Is there any mode specifically that you want them to work on more? I know Search and Destroy has been their weakest link, but in terms of hard point control tonight, I mean, from those two, which ones do you think that they need to work on a lot more? Because you know that Search and Destroy is kind of like a coin flip, but you really need to have good games on control and hardpoint because that's basically been their bread and butter.
Yeah, I think hardpoint we normally do pretty well. I think today was just really an off setting. That's just not a normal performance for us on hardpoint. But I think control, that could be a huge key factor for us. I think if we can work on that and perfect it, then it's a whole different ball game, especially if we can just work on the maps that we know we are weak on and just perfect those, considering there's not that many maps for that control game mode.
Yeah.
I think if we can perfect that, that's just a really big, just strong set right there, especially it being the third game mode of the series. And if we're up 2-0, we can able to just close it out with that strong control. I think that would be really strong to work on.
Yep, so that will conclude things this evening as Old Dominion Call of Duty loses their match 3-0 to Minnesota State, unfortunately, and they will have to look to rebound off of their losses this week in ECAC and NACE and hopefully gain some wins next week. But that is going to be it for tonight's stream. That is going to be it for COD this evening. Like we mentioned, they did lose their game, but there's going to be a lot to look forward to going forward with the streams later on this week. We do have 2 more streams scheduled for this week. I'm not sure exactly if we're doing streams for Saturday or Sunday. That's still being to be determined at the moment. But at the moment, for our schedule for the rest of this week, for Thursday and Friday, we have our stream tomorrow, Super Smash Brothers against Mary Washington. Should be very interesting to see how things transpire there because our Super Smash team, I think, is probably one of the best teams in the East Coast. And it's going to be very exciting to see how they'll still continue to progress through the regular season. And then we'll have Friday night, which will also be another 7 o'clock stream, which will be on Counter-Strike 2, which is going to be very exciting because it's going to be our first stream with Counter-Strike 2 being available to us to actually play on. So it'll be very interesting to see how that plays out. I will be here on the caster's desk for that one. So I'm very excited to see what team that we will be playing for that match because at the moment we really don't have a team that we are going to be facing in that CSGO match. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you guys have enjoyed the stream, be sure to follow us on all of our socials, including here on Twitch and YouTube at ODU Esports. We hope you enjoyed all the content that we've been putting out on our social platforms and here on our streaming platforms as well. But nonetheless, I have been Benjamin Draper, your caster.
I've been Matthew Starcher.
And we hope you have enjoyed your night, and we hope that you will tune in for more ODU Esports later on this week. But other than that, have a great night, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for some Super Smash Brothers against Mary Washington.